Hi everyone, what are the probabilities that very soon a significant high will be made and a lot more downside is to come? In this video, I will go through my preferred scenario on the high time frame, medium time frame and the low time frame and try to answer that question for you. So on the high time frame, I'm looking for a WXY with inside wave X and ABC expanding flat currently working on the final wave, which is wave 5. And if we then zoom in, you can see that actually things will start to become very interesting from an Elliott Wave point of view. Because yesterday and today, we hit the most common wave C target area with the minimum target of the 1.618 sitting at the 27.7K area. And not only did we hit this level, we also did so while being inside the most common wave 5 target area, which is in between the 1.236 and the 1.618, pulled from the high of 3 to the low of 4. So is this it? Is this then the high? And from now on, do we have downside to go? Well, I'm not so sure. And that has to do with the red wave X. The red wave X usually has a minimum target of the 0.382 sitting at 29.627K pulled from the all-time high to the low of W. And you can see that if we look at the target area for wave 5, another target for wave 5 is the 1.618, which basically sits at the exact same level as the 0.382 for the bigger wave X inside this most common wave C target area. So everything coming together at basically 29.6 to 29.7K. And not only that, you also have the high time frame range value area low over here at 28.8K from this range over here, which can act as very nice resistance in this area. And also, do we have a support area that we had over the years, which can now act as resistance for a very nice potential short trade to the downside to wave Y, with a target of, at the moment, about 12.7K, which also is a very nice support resistance area because we have not backtested this area after the bull run of 2020. So I actually would prefer, but of course price is not listening to me, it does what it does. But from an Elliott Wave point of view, I would really like price to go to this area, basically between 28.8K and 30K. Basically, maybe even backtesting 30K, because over here we have the 1.618, we have the 0.382 for wave X, we have the high time frame range value area low, and we have this support resistance flip for a potential nice short scenario where we can enter inside this most common wave C target box, stop loss somewhere above, taken into account this is still a rare wave C target, and then shorting it to the downside for a wave Y. Now if we then go to my preferred scenario on the medium time frame, we can see things maybe a little bit more clearly. So over here you again have the low of wave 4 currently working on the green wave 5, which is the higher time frame wave C, and then the red wave X above. Now over here what you can see is that I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, nice backtest of the 0.382, and then now working on a wave 5 to the upside. The Fibonacci's that you see again is again a target area for a wave 5. The 1.236 and the 1.618 taken from the high of 3 to the low of 4. And as you can see, we are now inside this area. Another target area for wave 5 is the 0.618, pulled from the absolute low over here to the high of 3 to then the low of 4 with the trend-based Fib extension tool. So we are currently ranging inside this area. So is this then the end of the blue wave 5, which then is the end of the green wave 5 in the end of C? Well, I'm not so sure, which I'll show you on my low time frame preferred scenario, because when we zoom in in a moment, this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4 and looking for another wave to the upside. Yes, on the lower time frames, we would then go above the most common wave 5 target area, but the lower you go in the time frames, the less, or I should say the more unpredictable Elliott Wave becomes. So the higher time frame target areas will always be a bigger preference than the lower targets on Elliott Waves. If we then go to the even lower time frame scenario that I have, this is currently what I'm looking at in a lot more detail. So we have the green count and the blue count. So the green count over here, 1, 2, and then eventually we have wave 3 over here, wave 4, and then wave 5. And then the blue count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, as mentioned in my previous video, I was waiting for price to move to the downside. Based from an Elliott Wave perspective, I preferred, and all my low time frame preferred scenarios had downside, with this target box being very important. We wicked inside this target box and had actually a massive reaction to the upside. As you can see, a massive wick over here. But this target box for me was an important area to potentially have a trading setup over here, a long setup, where trades can be laddered, and eventually the invalidation would be over here at 25.7k, as a wave 4, in this case the green wave 4, is not allowed to have higher time frame candles closing below the 0.5. So in this scenario, we are working on the green wave 4, blue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, green 1, 2, 3, then a 4, and then eventually a 5 to the upside. And this wave 5 to the upside would then bring us inside this area of 28.8k and 30k basically, which also then has the confluence areas of the higher time frame wave 5, the 0.382 of wave X, the support resistance area on the high time frame, and then of course the high time frame range value area low. Now, is this wave 4 already finished? Possibly, I don't know. We hit the target area. Usually the most common target for a wave 4 is hitting the 0.382 or ending somewhere in between the 0.382 and the 0.5. At the moment we wicked into the 0.236, which is also a target for a wave 4, but it's a bit more rare for price to only bounce on the 0.236 and then move to the upside. But again, you can never say never. We did hit the target area at least once, but I would not mind to eventually have maybe this as a 3-wave, another 3-wave, another 3-wave, ending wave 4 over here, before then moving to the upside in a wave 5, because it's also weekend and you have to think, okay, it's now Saturday, tomorrow it's going to be Sunday, we're ranging, and eventually it would be nice to make a low while the markets are open throughout the week, to grab the liquidity over the weekend, and then during the week move up for a wave 5. That would be my preferred scenario, and then inside maybe next week or the week after, when the markets are open, wave 5 will eventually be finished before then we start that big move to the downside. So this is what I am looking at on the high time frame, medium time frame, and the low time frame. So far so good, and we will see what's going to happen. I mentioned to you my preferred area for the end of this potential wave C, high time frame X, and potential wave 5, which is between 28.8k and basically 30k. Now, depending on how price is going to move to the upside in this potentially wave 5, I will, be able to provide a more detailed outlook on what might happen next. But at the moment, I believe we are currently in a wave 4. Is this going to be, or can this be theoretically the end of this wave 5? Yes, because we are inside a very important wave 5 finishing target area. As mentioned with the medium time frame scenario over here, we are in an important wave 5 target area, which could be the end of C. However, based on the price action and based on a lower time frame Elliott Wave scenario that I just showed you, I would prefer, based on Elliott Waves, another move to the downside eventually between 28 and basically 30k. So that being said, I'd like to thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful or valuable to you. Once again, thanks for watching and also subscribing, and I will see you at my next video. Bye bye.